Hello everyone, I am Karnav Rastogi. I have a question for all of you. Are you feeling the waves of Waves 2025 or are you enjoying the waves of 2025? So with this, I'd like to begin my presentation. So, as you all know, we have one Earth. So, there is no planet B. So, therefore, I'd like to begin my presentation with a quote by Lao Tse. A tree as big as you can reach starts with a small seed. 1,000-mile journey starts with a small step. Moving ahead. So, talking about how I began my journey. I was a school student. I began my climate change journey in grade 5 when I came across the Tide Turner Plastic Challenge by UNEP and WWF. And there is when I got a school project. Moving ahead, my climate change journey began when through the TTPC, I saw my carbon footprints and checked them. I realized that in some way I was contributing to climate change. So, as it said, change begins from oneself. I began the change from myself, lowered my carbon footprints, and then started spreading awareness. So, my journey began when I was a speaker at the National Youth Summit 2020 when I presented my poem, Plastic a Curse. I have 3 e-comics to my credit in 3 successful years, 2020, 2021 and 2022. And currently I'm taking workshops for NGOs, chess clubs and most importantly, school students, the youth. Well, this is about my first book of how a small observation became a big leap. From where I started an initiative in my first book that is Magical Dustbin, that is inspired by the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan by Shri Narendra Modi ji. Well, I have a poem and a story in my first book, Kartik and Mixi, A Journey About Creation, which is about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan titled Magical Dustbin. Well, if you can't fly, then walk. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl, but always keep moving forward. Similarly, letters from words, words from sentences, sentences from paragraphs, a paragraph forms a page, and there we have a book. My journey so far was that I started writing at the age of 6, and at the age of 8, I released my first book, Kartik Mixi, A Journey About Creation. Well, I've been titled as the youngest author of India as well for my first book. For my both books, a common point is that my biggest inspiration was nature, and that's the reason climate is a topic very close to my heart. Well, my second book is Kartik and Mixi, A Journey About Jungle Adventure. In this book, I've talked about drones, a unique device that can translate animal voice to human voice, since both of my books are science fiction. Then the lockdown came after I released my books in 2018 and 2019. In 2020, I realized it's a lockdown. From a free bird, we all became caged in our houses. That's the time I made the best use of technology by releasing my 3 e-comics. So well, when my journey began, I had to learn and unlearn a few things. And that made me realize that from a free bird, the transition would not be so easy. I realized about the 3-screen theory. Most of us in the lockdown were surrounded by the 3 screens. Well, what are these 3 screens? The television, the laptop, the mobile phone. Well, I made the best use of it by releasing my 3 e-comics, publishing poems, and that was where the biggest change happened. Well, as we can see that these are the 3 e-comics that I've released in successive years that are all on social causes. These are on social causes as first one is about coronavirus prevention. The second one is about plastic pollution. And the third one is about ocean pollution. As I said, climate is a topic very close to my heart. So moving towards there. This book is actually an Amazon bestseller and happens to be my third book, Karthik and Mixi and Europa. Well, it's a journey about artificial intelligence. I've incorporated artificial intelligence by using an AI writer in this book, which has made it a unique point. Now, the environmental impacts of plastic are numerous. The microplastics that are found in waters are not even filtered by our water filters. Well, a recent news has come that microplastics have been found in a sample of human blood. That's how concerning it is that microplastics are present in our body and we are unaware about it. This brings me to the most important point of climate change and why does it have such a wide impact. Well, two prime examples of climate change. You might be thinking climate change is all a hype. Everyone has been talking about climate change. What is the real life example of climate change? Well, monsoons in June 2024 were unexpected for all. Where there were drought-like situations in few states of India, it was flooding in few states. Well, for flood, I like to use the slogan, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Most importantly, second is the changing AQI. The air quality index of various states is decreasing. The air quality is decreasing day on day. Well, it's heart-wrenching to share with me for you all that the higher nations, the bigger nations, their grunts have to be bared by smaller countries. Their high carbon emissions need to be bared by such a small island country, Kiribati, that would be the first country to lose land due to the rising sea levels. This is the first land that will go underwater in a few years because it has to bear the grunts of bigger countries. Because of the carbon emissions of different countries, this country will go underground. Well, Antarctica is no smaller example. It's a doomsday glacier. The temperature from 1.5 degrees Celsius has increased to 1.75 degrees Celsius in January 2025. This year, the global warming has increased by 0.25 degrees Celsius and the melting glaciers are melting at a very fast rate. Well, plastic rain is another example that is found in Patna, Bihar. Plastic rain is where microplastics of less than 5 mm have been consolidated and formed clouds in the air, and then the rain has come down. This has not only made it difficult to identify the microplastics, but it has caused soil pollution, air pollution, and water pollution. I'd like to say that a drop of ink makes a million think, and this is the most inspirational quote I've ever heard by Lord Byron. A pen is mightier than a sword, and therefore that's what makes the youth real change makers. My true journey began on World Environment Day, 5th June, when I released my book, Karthik and Mixi, It's Now or Never, in 4 languages. The first one being English and the rest 3 being Indian languages. Well, we talk about 2022. 2025, I have this book in 6 Indian languages, namely Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Kannada, Bengali, and Malayalam. These 6 Indian languages is what I have my book in apart from English. I am spreading this awareness on the 4 corners of India, our Bharat, North, East, West, and South. I am spreading this awareness through my book. The unique point of my book is, it not only is a random book, it has a pledge at the end of a book, which we all will take at the end of the session, which makes us climate change warriors. And there is a seed packet in each book that you can plant to become a climate change warrior. Well, this is the copy of my book, and It's Now or Never highlights that there is no planet B. The most important part is that I'm trying to create a chain, is that one person reads the book, plants the tree, passes it on to the other. This chain will impact many people. If one book goes to 10 people, 10 books go to 100 people. This is the impact I want to create. The unique point is that this is a free book distribution drive under the title Each One, Read One to Plant One. This is in two sections. My first section talks about the problems we are facing due to climate change, such as ocean pollution, melting glaciers, global warming, and soil depletion. All of these are interconnected. Well, everyone is talking about the problems. Where are the solutions? These are the solutions to the problems I just have highlighted. The solutions are tree plantation, proper waste management, the 3 R's: recycle, reduce, and reuse, and primarily using sustainable energy, that is renewable energy. Well, my message to each one of you is that we have an author in each one of us, and we can contribute to 5 things using just a pen or technology. And these 5 things are writing a poem, a blog, an article in a magazine or a newspaper which can catch attention of many, posters and workshops that I am taking. These are 5 ways in which you can become a climate change warrior. Well, it's very important for us to know the primary step we take to reduce climate change is to reduce our carbon footprints. And this is what brings me to the next slide, that what can we do? We can follow the mission life, which was given by Shri Narendra Modi ji in COP26, Conference of Parties 26. This mission life is that we make our lifestyle and change our lifestyle, make it suitable for the planet. Following mission life makes it essential and to incorporate it in our daily lives. Well, we have only one planet. Students can do the participation in these following ways. We can ban the single-use plastic from our lives. We shouldn't use single-use plastic because these plastics are easily throwable and they do not renew. We cannot recycle, reuse, or reduce these. Second one is that we must recycle plastic. A fun fact is that a question might have come to you. I'm talking about climate change standing here, but am I not cutting trees to publish my own books? Well, my books are on recyclable paper. So that's the impact I'm trying to create by recycling. Ocean pollution drives are what you can do along with beach cleanliness drives and tree plantation drives. And the biggest change is Earth Hour. That was on this March 2022, where we got 3 million hours for the planet. We had 3 million hours from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. We switched off our non-essential lights. We switched off the lights that we do not require. And that's the impact that we made on Earth Hour, March 2022. It coincided with World Water Day. So this day made it very important for us. Well, a spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission by Neil Peart, one of the most famous drummists, a Canadian musician, has given this quote that inspires me a lot. That if I have a spirit with a vision, I am completing this dream with a mission of passing on my books and creating this drive much, much more. I'm happy to share that I've extended this drive, not only limited to India, but I went to US and this drive has been extended also to UK. Now, talking about these are the books that I've released in 6 languages and this is the subtitle. This is my book logo that looks like God Ganesh. Well, there are 2 leaves to highlight plant one. There is the bookmark that highlights read one and there is a hand that says each one. That completes it. Each one, read one to plant one. Well, this is 23rd January when I officially published the logo of my journey, Karthik and Mixi, It's Now or Never on climate change. These are few awards on the next slide that I have received that has kept me motivated and kept going. In 2022, I received the International Award, Messengers of Peace Award. In 2023, I got the International Eco Hero Award. The most important award I've got till now is the Unstoppable 21 by Times of India. This award, for your information, is only given to 21 people in India who are under the age of 21, making a significant change by the Times of India. And the last one that I just received in 2025 is the Youth Climate Ambassador Award. Well, climate change is real. I've given thousands of examples. We have only one planet and there is no planet B. So, I'd like you all to take a green pledge, for which I request all of you to raise your right hand forward and repeat after me. I pledge to go green, for my air to remain clean. Use solar light and power. Close the tap and running shower. Take a drive in CNG vehicles. Walk on foot to experience miracles. Grow plants and tree for shade. A natural cooling for summer is made. Start from self, create clean and green energy. Put in actions as actions create energy. Thank you so much, everyone. And with this, I'd like to end my session. This slide is the last slide that I have made for Waves 2025, the World Audio Visual Entertainment Summit 2025. It tells us to use social media in an impactful way and not just for communication. We can have exchange of thoughts and create an impact just from the comfort of our homes using social media, creating awareness of climate change that is the biggest problem of our planet in 2025. Well, thank you so much everyone for being a wonderful audience, and I hope the waves of my session have reached your heart and you've thoroughly enjoyed this session. Once again, thank you everyone.